So we're going to be comparing the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 with the GoPro Hero 11 camera. We're going to be testing them to see how they perform in outdoor conditions with stabilization. We'll be testing their microphone. I'll be testing both cameras to see how both perform in low light conditions and various other tests. Let's begin. So the GoPro can only zoom in to 1.4 digital crop, and you have to turn off the hyper smooth stabilization boost. You can turn on stabilization, but you have to turn off the boosting. So it is a bit of a different experience compared to the 2x digital zoom that you can get from the Pocket 2. So I don't know if the camera microphone can pick it up, but there's some road noise, and there's also some mourning doves cooing. When you're shooting 4K, the maximum you can zoom in is a 2x digital zoom. It's actually quite hard to manipulate the zoom if you don't have the zoom dongle attached to your device. Alright, let's test stabilization going up these stairs. We're gonna test the low light performance in this scary little shed. All right. So right off the bat, this isn't doing amazing. All right, we can test how this does in low light conditions. So this is a shed, and I can see on the small frame, my small viewfinder on the Pocket 2, that this is actually showing up much brighter than it is in real life. So it's handling the low light conditions actually quite well. Let's test the lighting performance. So this is the same environment that the Pocket 2 is being tested in, with the lots of backlit exposure and little exposure in front of me. So we'll compare in the video. But what do you think? So now we're in lower light, and you can see how the camera does, spinning around with the light changing. Now there's a bit more light on me, but you can see that the light environment is rapidly changing. And with this is really not ideal lighting for an action or small camera. And you can see that the camera is actually doing exceptionally well handling this backlit exposed area behind me, and then this very poor lighting ahead of me. Good job. I'm gonna wait for a car to come by, but now we can do the microphone test with a car driving by. And I have to say that as someone with a little bit of social anxiety, this is not the most fun test for me to do, but I am definitely doing it for the YouTube channel. So I have to say I feel like just an absolute fool in every way. So love that. Absolutely love that in every single way. I gotta go in now. All right, I'm gonna flip it around and do some audio testing with cars next to me. Oops. Okay, we lost the subject. We have to recenter. Okay, I have selfie tracking on, so I'm gonna wait for this car to come by. So I have a car coming by now, so I'm just talking to see how the audio picks up with the cars coming by. There's another car coming by, and it's frequently losing me as the selfie tracking is on. And we'll see if you can hear me at all, but due to the noise, I'm kind of sure that you cannot. This is me 2 feet away from the GoPro. This is me at the same volume 4 feet away from the GoPro. This is me at the same volume 6 feet away from the GoPro. And this is me at the same volume 8 feet away from the GoPro. So this is me about 2 feet away from the Pocket 2. This is me at the same volume 4 feet away from the Pocket 2. This is me at the same volume 6 feet away from the Pocket 2. And this is me 8 feet away from the Pocket 2. All right, so now that we've seen all of that and done all the testing, I have to say I'm a bit surprised by the results. I thought there was going to be one clear winner, but there's definitely not. Now let's talk through what we saw and heard. I think it's pretty clear that the winner for the outdoor picture quality test was definitely the GoPro Hero 11. I can see this obviously with my own 2 eyes as someone who lives here at my house. The GoPro was much more true to color than the DJI. The DJI's colors were much more off and desaturated and gray toned, whereas the GoPro was exactly spot on with the colors. Also, the DJI got much more washed out. It was admittedly a very sunny day, but the GoPro handled the bright sun much better than the DJI Pocket 2 did. Now, in the category of zoom, the Pocket 2 definitely wins this one hands down. The Pocket 2 can zoom up to 2 times digital zoom, whereas the GoPro Hero 11 can only zoom up to 1.4 times. Also, the Pocket 2 can zoom while you're recording, whereas the GoPro, you have to stop recording to start a zoom. The GoPro Hero 11, you have to turn off stabilization, whereas the Pocket 2 is inherently stabilized due to the gimbal. So for stabilization, the Pocket 2 is going to win this one by a little bit, and that's because the built-in gimbal system with the Pocket 2 will inherently provide better stabilization than the hyper smooth capability of the GoPro Hero 11. The GoPro does provide adequate stabilization. So for low light indoors, the DJI Pocket 2 wins by a mile. I think that's a given. For low light selfie testing, the DJI Pocket 2 wins by a mile. I think that's also a given. For the vehicle mic testing, I found this one really difficult to score. I would say it's a tie. I think both did well. I think both struggled to reduce the vehicle noise, but both did well by keeping my voice very clear with the internal microphones. So with the distance microphone testing, I actually thought this would be a tie also, since the vehicle testing was a tie. but I actually am going to give it to the GoPro, given that the GoPro never really changed volume, whereas the DJI got noticeably quieter when I got further away. I do have to create one more category because I thought it was noticeable in all of the videos, and that would be overall picture quality. Overall picture quality was significantly better with the GoPro Hero 11, and I noticed that throughout the testing. And the biggest thing was the GoPro Hero 11 was significantly truer to color compared to the Pocket 2, and it was significantly less blown out by sunlight compared to the Pocket 2. The Pocket 2 really struggled with bright sunlight. Now, I think both cameras are a really great choice. I would recommend them for different reasons. If you're going to be shooting indoors a lot and you'll be shooting in tough low lit situations or tough situations where you can't control the lighting, I would highly recommend the DJI Osmo Pocket 2. But if you're going to be shooting outdoors a lot, I would recommend the GoPro Hero 11. So I really hope this video was helpful. If you have any comments, suggestions, or disagree with me, please leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Like always, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.